Hello everyone and good morning. Welcome to the SLP Solution Morning Show. I am your host, Carrie Clark with slpsolution.com. Today is Wednesday, August 29th, 2018, and today we are talking about rubric-style data collection. And I apologize that I am a few minutes late this morning, so I hope you weren't waiting with bated breath. Today we're talking about rubric-style data collection because I've had a lot of questions about it after Tuesday's show. Monday's show. I don't even know what day of the week it is, guys. Monday's show, where we were talking about how you can schedule your data collection so that you do all of your data collection in 1 week and then have the next 3 weeks without data collection. So we were talking about the 3-to-1 model. But I had a lot of questions about, well, my employer requires daily data collection, so what do I do? So that's where rubric-style data collection can come in handy. It can also come in handy if you have a group of crazy children running around and you don't have time to take data on every single trial throughout your session. It can also just be a nice, simpler way to get all of your data collected and track progress in a meaningful way without completely getting overwhelmed. So that's what we're talking about today. We're gonna jump in just a minute, but I did want to share my mug of the day. Today's episode is fueled by speech therapy is the highlight of my day. And it has a little highlighter. This is from my friend Meredith over at peachyspeechy.com. She gave me a bunch of fun mugs to use on the show. So thanks, Meredith. All right, so let's talk about rubric-style data collection. Basically what this is you write a goal that says the child will perform this skill with a certain number on a rating scale. And then you provide the rating scale within the goal. So let's say you want the child to follow 2-step directions. That's the ultimate goal for a year from now. It's 2-step directions. And I should say too, I'm giving child examples because that's what I know. This can also be applied to use with adults with cognitive or dysphagia or whatever kinds of goals you're working on. This is applicable across our field, but I'm gonna give kids examples because that's what I know. Okay, so let's say the overall goal is following 2-step directions. So you could put this on a 5-point rating scale where 1 is that you literally had to physically do it for them. So you had to pick their hand up and pick up the thing and put it where it was supposed to go or whatever the directions were. So that's a 1. They just didn't really do it at all. 5 would be that you verbally gave the direction and they followed it completely independently with no support. Okay, so there's our range. And then you put these benchmarks in between of what 2, 3, and 4 would be. So maybe 2 would be that you had to provide visual and auditory reminders and minimal physical prompting. Okay, so they did it, but they had a lot of help. Maybe a 3 would be that they needed visual and verbal reminders or cues, however you want to word that. And then maybe 4 would be that they just needed a verbal prompt or cue to get through it. So then we're back up at 5 where they did it independently. So you have this scale 1 through 5, and there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can say, I'm going to collect data on the first trial, or I'm going to collect data on the last trial, or I'm going to collect data on the session as a whole. That's the way I like to do it because I feel like it's more inclusive and cohesive. So what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm going to work with this child for 15 minutes on following 2-step directions. We do this, I'm providing prompts, I'm doing all this. At the end of that 15 minutes, I say, okay, most of the times, most of the opportunities, he needed that middle level of prompting. So I'm gonna give him a 3 for today. Today's score is 3. So how easy was that? All you had to do was circle one number one time, and that was your score for the session. Now, if you look at the next session and you do this again, let's say that your employer requires daily notes. So today he got a 3. Tomorrow we do this, or the next session we do this, and oh, he got a 4. He really only needed the verbal prompt most of the time. Now you can show progress with an actual number and not just you saying, I think he did better, but you're actually giving it a score. So there's a number, which our insurance companies love numbers, right? And so do our schools. So you can show that progress up to 4. Oh, today was a bad day. We were all the way back down to 2. So we had a regression today. Here's what we're gonna do to improve for next time. So it's a really, really simple way to just get one number, one data point for your whole session. And again, if you'd rather do this on, I want to see how he does right out of the gate, first thing without any support, that's the first number, or the first trial, that's the one we collect data on. You can do that. You can say, I want to see how he does after I give him all the therapy and we support and support and support and I see where he is now. You could take the last one and give a rating on it. Just make sure you're consistent. So you're not comparing first trial today to last trial tomorrow. So that's one example. That was a 5-point scale. You can also do this on a 10-point scale. So you can have, again, 1 being they really didn't do the skill at all, 10 being they did it completely independently, and then all of these variations in the middle. I would say this would be for a more complex skill. So for example, here's an example of a more complex one. Let's say you need the child to use a spoken narrative or give a spoken narrative. So maybe you give them a prompt or they're retelling a story, however it is you structure the goal, but you put the actual skill on a 10-point scale. And so then within that, you look at the criteria you want met. So I want him to include all of these different story elements and include at least 3 details. So let's say you have 5 story elements and 3 details that you want included. So those are the points that you want, okay? So maybe this is a 1 to 7 scale. 7 scale being that he got all of them, or maybe 8. 8 would be that he got all 7. 1 would be that he got none of them. And so you could scale it out through that. Okay, he got the setting and the characters, but not the details, blah, blah, blah. So you can rank them out for more complex skills based on how complex their answer was. Again, you can do it by how much support they need. There's so many different ways to do this. And I just think it is a very easy way to do your data collection. The other thing I really love about this is that if that student goes to someone else or that client goes to another speech language pathologist, maybe they move, maybe there's a reassignment, whatever the reason, if they go to a new speech language pathologist, that person can take data exactly the same way that you did because you write this in the goal. So you write that rubric in the goal and it says right there what a 1 is, what a 2 is, what a 3 is, what a 4 is, what a 5 is. So there's no guessing as to what you meant when you wrote that goal or how you're supposed to collect data on it or what would be a 3, what would be a 4. You write it all out in the goal. So the next speech language pathologist can hit the ground running with that goal, which is so, so very helpful. It's also really great for tracking regressions. If you have a break and you can see, well, we were at a 4, now we're at a 2. It's a really easy way to mark that progress or that regression, not progress. Okay, so that is the rubrics in a nutshell. That is the most basic overview I can give you, that you can go so deep into these, and there's lots of samples of good rubric style goals out there. We are working on building some samples into our database in our memberships over at slpsolution.com. If you're not familiar with that, we do have professional memberships where you can get resources that will help you treat with confidence, do your paperwork with ease, and get back to loving what you do because you're supported. So head on over to slpsolution.com if you want to check those out. Or if you are looking for more examples of rubric style goals and data collection, you have got to check out the SLP Toolkit. I just had a call with them this week where they walked me through their whole program, which is so much more robust than I ever realized because I have not been keeping up with their progress. They have been doing so much work over the last few years. But they do have a really nice bank of rubric style goals where you can pull up the goals, you can check them out, you can use them, you can tweak them, and then you can collect data on them right within their platform or their app. So it's very helpful. If you are really digging on the rubric style goals, head over to slptoolkit.com and check that out. I will put a link in the comments. There it is. After I finish the show here. All right. That is all I have for today. Quick and easy, rubric style data. I know you're gonna love it. Just kind of look around and see some other examples of different ways that people are doing the rubric style data collection. We have one more show tomorrow of a topic that I have not picked yet. I will pick that. And then Friday, Dr. Meredith is coming on from theinformedslp.com, and she's gonna be doing our research correspondent bit where she's gonna come in and tell us what's new in the research in speech language pathology. So that'll be on Friday. And then we're gonna take a break. If you are not familiar with our brand, we have the slpsolution.com. That is our membership program with membership portals for SLPs that work with kids. There. Sorry, I'm getting calls. Okay. We have SLP Solution memberships for SLPs that work with kids, SLPs in the medical, and SLPs in private practice. And we are getting our new website. They've been building it for like 6 months, so I'm so excited to see it. Hopefully it's gonna make all of our memberships just even more streamlined and so easy to use. But we are switching that all over to the new system in September. We will be raising the price on October 1st. So if you would like to get in at the old price, we are hoping, fingers crossed, to have this up the last week of September so that we can let people in at the old price before the new price kicks in. So you will want to head over to slpsolution.com. If you sign up for the free membership on that website, that will get you access to our mailing list, and we will contact you when those memberships are open and ready for you to join back in. So this is almost it for the morning show for now, but we will start season 2 back up in October, I hope. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we will be updating you with our progress. It's going to be a really exciting month, and I'm excited to have all of you along for the ride. So thanks so much for watching today. Head over to slpsolution.com, sign up for that free membership so you don't miss out on the price, current price, before we raise those prices again for the new launch. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day.